217 Recovery Podcast. I am Corey Winfield. Thank you for listening. Tonight I'm joined by two special women in my life. My mother, Sandy, and my sister, Kylie. And we're going to talk a little bit about how addiction and recovery has affected them. And not in the way that it's like, oh, one more thing that, you addicts and you people in recovery have to feel sorry for. We're not going to do that. But we're going to get to that in just a minute. I do have a great announcement, and I've been excited. It just made my whole weekend yesterday. I heard that 217 Recovery is going to be at UFAM as a gold sponsor, and it thrilled me. So we're going to be out there. We're going to be talking to people, doing a live broadcast from UFAM, which is May 17th in Lansing, 101 Capitol Avenue. Sandy, hey, let's not talk over there. Okay, now she's telling me to be quiet. Mom, I'm talking. This is my podcast. Is this the first time you've ever been on with me, ever? Have you? Because I know, like, over the phone and stuff, like, back when I was on the radio, you used to be on there, but is this the first time? No? You've been in the studio with me before? I don't think you have. I don't remember any coughing or... I don't remember any of that. Kylie, is this the first time for you?
We did something on your phone before.
Okay.
About 6 or 7 years ago.
Okay.
On an app.
All right, but not like in the studio. You've never been there. I think Travis has. Maybe. No, I think he was sitting in there when I was doing a show. But anyway, here's the rules. When Corey talks, you be quiet. Okay, good. Thank you, Mom. Unless otherwise spoken to. So anyway, back to the UFAM event. Oh, you going to cough now? Yeah? She delayed. And if anybody knows my mom. Oh, there we go. There we go. Get it out there, Sandy. She tried her best to make us... You done?
Laugh too much.
She did her best to make us late for this podcast, which I didn't allow. So I'm like, all right, we're going to just start it now. And we might have to do it in segments. And we might just have to go live at 9. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, you tried. You tried to make us late. You tried, but we're going to get this, baby.
How did I try to make you late? I'm
not
not the one who spun around on the highway.
No, see, that's the first thing that people in addiction do is you blame other people. It's not my fault, Mom. I drank.
I wasn't even driving.
It's other people's fault. You caused me to drink.
She was here late. Nobody wants to hear us bicker.
We're not bickering. We're talking about addiction. But anyway, back to the UFAM event. UFAM rally. It's 101 Capitol Avenue in Lansing. It's Friday, May 17th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. That's where we're going to be. And like I said, we're so excited. And there's more details. I got to get this calendar thing figured out on our website. But there is a event and all the stuff, info is there. Tickets are free if you just want to come hang out. There's going to be sponsors going to be talking. There's going to be entertainment. It'll be just a good time for sober people to come out and show the community that, hey, look, we're in recovery. We faced our addictions or are facing our addictions, and we're good people. And we're not who you see on TV and movies and stuff like that. We're somebody's son, somebody's brother. And there are people out there that love us and care about us. Uncle, yeah. So that's what we're trying to do. And Tyler, you guys remember Tyler, the cowboy from RKR when I was working there?
Yeah.
Yeah, he told me to stop being so down. And he told me that he thought he was listening to the next Dr. Phil. Which I was like, wow, that's cool. You know how much that guy makes a year? And then he compared me to Maury Povich, which, okay, I could do that too. Yeah. Kylie, are you sitting down? You are not the mother. But anyway, so that's kind of awesome. And the platforms around Spotify. You can find us on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, YouTube, of course. Seems like there was one more. Did I say Spotify? Spreaker. I think that's all of them. Yeah, I said that. But we're on all those. So if you know somebody who should listen, tell them to. So today, Kylie, my mother, thank you for joining me. And this is something that, Mom, you asked for. And, thinking about it and talking to other people, you're right. Once again. That's my fake laugh.
You can't say for once.
But
as usual.
But you guys had to deal with and still have to deal with, having a son, having a brother who was in addiction pretty bad and in denial. You guys have been there through the whole thing. Mm-hmm. It's been 4 years that I've started trying to get clean, but even before that, try to put you guys both through hell. But then, Sandy, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I would tell my daughter to talk louder.
Oh.
Go,
'Cause,
carry on.
yeah, she can see the levels. And she knows that you're being a little too quiet. You're not really. I think you're fine. But anyway, who wants to start off first? Because, Mom, you had some good things to say earlier about how, and I didn't really think about it. Oh, I thought did you want to say something? You were. Usually people do that. Let me
Just carry on.
But anyway, you were saying that when people talk to you and they're like, "Well, how's Corey?" And you're like, "Oh, well, he's doing okay." Or when I'm not doing okay, you're like, "Well, kind of having a hard time." And they tell you, "Oh, you just need to, just tough love." And he needs.
I know. Are you going to let me tell the story? You're telling it.
I don't know. Can you talk now?
I can't help it. I have like a thing in my throat.
I'm not even going there with any kind of weird stuff. But let's just talk about it then. Not about what's in your throat, but let's talk about...
Oh, my Lord.
Okay, go ahead.
Excuse me.
The floor is yours.
Well, no. I mean,
No,
yeah, I
yes.
said to you that sometimes... Well, I know you invited other family members. You said this is for you, too. So I hope if some of them are listening, like this can be helpful for them. Like you always say, you're not a professional. I'm not a professional. I'm a professional mom that bangs her head against the wall sometimes here. But been through a lot. And I say a good majority of what Corey's been through has been, I've been parallel with it. And I've been on that roller coaster ride with him. But I choose to because I love him and I'm not going to give up on him. And I'm not going to just let him give up on himself. If he wants to really badly enough give up, he'll do it. I know I can't control it. I didn't cause it and I can't cure it. But there are other things I can do to support him. But just like with the alcoholics or any kind of addict, I probably used the wrong word there, they talk about how people stereotype them. Well, as parents of an addict, people look at you a certain way as well. And they expect certain things from you the same way as they do the addict. Like Corey mentioned, people will ask me how he's doing. And sometimes after he's been doing really good, and then it always scares me to say and let them know he's doing good. As soon as I say that, I'll be darned if the shoe doesn't fall off the foot. And there I am calling police for well checks. That's my way of keeping him in check, because I discovered I could call the cops to go check on him, and that truthfully has saved his life many times, I feel. But I didn't want to give up. There's times I felt like if he's not going to quit, I'm just going to go to sleep. I would rather sleep. I guess they don't. They probably do realize that we don't have to do what we do. We're still in it because we want to be in it and because we love these people very much and we feel they're worth something. If I thought Corey wasn't worth anything, I would just, oh, well, I know he's trash and probably drank in the last couple of days 4 gallons of something. And, well, it's his problem. That would be much easier for me to do than to sit around worrying, and that kind of thing, or calling the cops, but I want to. And just in the same way that they go so many months, then they may relapse, not always, and then they pick themselves right back up and go on and don't give up. As the loved one, whether you're mother, sister, brother, father, mother, whatever your role is, girlfriend, wife, I just want to say don't give up and don't worry about what other people say about you, because I've had people ask me how he is, and I feel like they're judging, first of all, my child, and then me, like I've done something wrong. And then they also say things like, oh, time for tough love. He's now 40 years old, And I don't think this is a situation of tough love. If all the different rehabs he's been in hasn't taught him tough love, I don't know what else it would. But so many people, they have no idea whatsoever what you're going through, what the addict is going through. I'm sure they mean well, but, and then you get the ones that think that you don't want to, what's that word? I can't.
Enable.
Yeah, I don't know why that won't come to my mind lately. They think, you're going to enable him. No, I will not do that, but I'm not going to sit around and just let my child die. And I know there's a fine line between that. And there's sure times I've helped pay a bill for him, and I know I shouldn't, but I know that's not going to help him get out of the rut. But I do try to be very cautious what I do and how much, because I know he's got to learn to do these things on his own. But it's just been a very big uphill battle, and even times when he's been in the hospital, you will get nurses and caregivers there that will just go out of their way to help. Then you get some, especially at the Niles, Michigan hospital, slamming them, but sorry about that, Niles Hospital. You suck, but that's the Corey coming out in me, I guess, right now. But, they act like, oh, well, he's here again. They could care less, and they don't understand it. Or they talk to me like I don't know what's going on and tell me, and I have to look at him. It's like, you don't even know what you're talking about.
Well, they call us Gomers because they're goner or Gomers. They want to just go home. They want to get us out of their emergency room because they hate us. And that's one of the things.
Some of them do.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, most of them do because they just look at us like, oh, now I got to go get this, and that's why sometimes we don't want to go.
Right.
And it's
but
like, no, I don't want to go again. And I'd rather just drink myself to death and rather never wake up because then, I wouldn't have to put you through it again. And that's when all that kind of horrible thinking comes into play. And, of course, when we're in active addiction, at least I'm in active addiction, I'm already not thinking clear. And the embarrassment's there, the letdown, the everything.
Right.
And in that moment, sometimes I just wish I wasn't around anymore, which clearly I want to be around, but like I said, with that.
Well, that's why I think if you're going to go somewhere like a hospital or a medical facility, you do need somebody there to stick up for you and stand up for you and push it forward. Because there's been times I've had to push it forward when they were just like no, or they let you go too soon, and I say, okay, well, we'll see you tomorrow morning then, and sure enough, we'll be right back there. But there was a nurse who was like an angel at Lakeland in St. Joe who fought really hard to get you help, and she succeeded. Of course, it wasn't the...
Was that the hot one that put me in the mental ward? Yeah, I'm going to take that as a yes. She just had this look on her face like...
mental ward.
Mom,
no,
Joe Cool was in there. I met Joe Cool there.
The girl you kept calling hot and embarrassing me.
Yeah.
That was more embarrassing than anything, was in the bad hospital in Niles.
Oh, she was cute too.
That one? You kept telling her, and then you said, my mom thinks that I'm embarrassing you by calling you hot and all that.
She knew she was hot. But anyway, let's not talk about the hot nurses that I've met over the years, because I've met
you
thousands.
Should have brought it up.
Anyway, do you know what a peer recovery coach is, though? I know you probably heard me talk about it. No. It's something that is offered to people in recovery. And it gives us a chance to kind of give back, puts us in the field of recovery, lets us work in recovery. And it's like a sponsor times a little bit more. It's someone who's been in recovery, someone who's been through it, someone who knows what's going on. And actually hospitals are starting to hire peer recovery coaches. So when people do come in, like you said, because it's nice to have someone there for you, but not all the time is that the case. So peer recovery coaches, and this is something that's awesome that hospitals are doing, because when people come in, like, we're already feeling down, we're already feeling low. And especially with the alcohol, like, we could die, go into seizures and die. And
definitely,
to have somebody there to kind of fight for us and not give us the whole oh, you drunk again? Yeah, we're going to send you home, like get you out of here. At least somebody there will at least help us to get to that next level where, okay, well, we got to leave the emergency room, but where can we go next? Somebody that's been there. And like at one point I really thought I was going to try to, or not try, but I thought I was going to break the record for most rehabs. And I was like, it's not really what I'm going for here. Most emergency room visits, I got to be in the top 10, I would think. Maybe not.
I just kept thinking, I didn't want to give up. And I just thought, well, I'm going to, keep getting right back on the horse myself. Because every time Corey was knocked down, I was knocked down. And if you're a loved one listening to this, maybe you'll understand it. Because I know a lot of people who don't understand addiction have no clue what we go through. And we go through it because we want to, not to shame our addict, but we want to support them, I guess, or like Corey said, be an advocate for them. I mean, even my own children have, but now Kylie understands it a lot better than she used to, but they'd get mad at me for jumping in and trying to be there for Corey or what have you. I would get flack from them or just let him go. And especially his brother, Travis, if you're listening.
He's not.
He doesn't understand at all. He gets but he loves Corey so much, and he's so scared because there's been times when he has almost died. And he's like a core of our family, kind of. And, well, all my children, each individually especially, are a core for me. And couldn't do without any of them. So we just keep fighting along with them. You just can't give up. I know there's support groups like Al-Anon. I went a couple times, but they have brochures that gave me something. But when I first went to an Al-Anon, I thought, oh, I'm going to go learn how to help my son out of being an addict. I'm going to learn how I can teach him. But what I learned is, no, you're not going to be able to do that. But Al-Anon focuses more on, why don't you take care of your own problems and heal your own self? Well, just because you're there and your child is an addict or your loved one doesn't mean you have a problem that you got to cure. It's just you won't give up on a loved one, and then maybe you're very, I don't know if the word is tenacious, adamant person that doesn't give up. And so, I don't know. For me, I didn't get a lot out of Al-Anon, and you're not really allowed to conversate. Everybody gets to speak a round table, one at a time. You can't criticize or really give feedback to anybody else. And I just think that it's more helpful if there was forums around more support groups for family members that don't want to give up and they don't care what other people say, or, one time it was so bad when he was in Arkansas, he had no money. He was working, but we can all guess why he probably had no money. He was keeping up with the bills he could, but the drinking was the main thing he made sure he had money for. It's just the way it is. And I knew he didn't have much food. Well, I didn't want to send him money. That was more along the lines of enabling. But I called a local Pizza Hut from Michigan, a local in Arkansas, and paid for a pizza to be sent to him. So I helped him in that way, so he had some food and felt like he was getting some kind of love from somewhere, because the way they feel inside, as bad as we feel and hurt as we feel, they feel, I've learned, way worse than we do. Because, like Corey said, they're ashamed, very ashamed of themselves. There's been times, especially in the beginning of all this, a few, 4 to 5 years ago, I didn't understand that part of it, and it just made me so mad, because I would think, here I did this for him, and he won't even talk to me, and he won't even call me. How dare him? However, that wasn't the case. It hurt me, and I thought, I'm the one who's been there the most for him, and he won't talk to me over the phone. He gives somebody else his contact number at a rehab thing. to be the one. But what I didn't understand is it killed him that he hurt me, and he knew he hurt me, or thought, for sure he had. I mean, he guessed pretty well that he probably did, and he was very embarrassed and very ashamed. As time went on, I learned that was the case each time, and I've learned not to be hurt. Do I still get angry and upset? Yeah, you're human. I'm sure he gets angry and upset with his own self. However, what was I saying?
I don't know. You were saying that we should probably post this real quick so it gets up by 9, and then we'll do another one and we'll talk with Kylie. That's what you were going to say. Great idea, Mom. All right, that and that episode is not brought to you by Pizza Hut or Lakeland Hospital.
Oh.
Or Niles.
Yeah, PH.
Or Niles.
Next time I'll say PH.
Okay. Or don't even say that. All right, we'll be back, and we're going to hear from Kylie after these messages.